think it's important too, because oftentimes when we talk about teaching and learning, we think that teaching and learning is only something that happens with our faculty in the classroom. And our faculty are on the front line of students. If a student is going to be successful at Montgomery College, they have to go to class, right? They don't have to do anything else here. They don't have to go to counseling, they don't have to go to advising, they don't have to go to the mobile market, they don't have to go to the library, or tutoring center. But if they're going to be successful, they got to go to class. But it is folks like you who help us contextualize and give meaning to that student experience. I often tell the story. I was president of Las Positas College in Livermore, California. It's a campus that's on the side of a hill in a vineyard. And it's a beautiful campus. And before I was even there, our groundskeepers planted roses. And our campus was known as the Rose Campus of our district. And you would go around, and we had this one guy, Stan. He was called the Rose Guy. That was his job. And he came on campus at 6 a.m., 5:30, and his job was to take care of the roses. So if you go up and down the hill, we had all kinds of roses. I don't even know the names of roses, but all kinds of roses, all kinds of colors. And Stan's job was to take care of the roses. And he took great pride. So one morning, I get there early because I typically roll in 8:30. This day I was stressed because I had a major presentation. I had some letters I had to get done. So I got to college at 6 a.m. and I'm thinking, I got two and a half hours to get stuff done. Nobody's gonna bother me. Who was sitting there when I parked in my little space? Stan, the Rose Guy. And Stan says, Dr. P, come take a walk with me. And I thought, oh, Stan. I got to, but you can't tell Stan no, because Stan knows clearly the fact is, and just I shall tell you, Stan wasn't the friendliest person in life. He ain't like all of y'all. Y'all all friendly. I walked in, y'all talked, y'all greeted, you act like you hadn't seen each other. Y'all was giving each other dapping at our table. It was good. But Stan wasn't the friendliest person in the room. So you knew, so Stan said, Dr. P, come take a walk with me. So I thought, oh, dang it. So I'm going to take a walk with Stan. So I changed my shoes because I had on heels. I put my heels on, took my tennis shoes off because we're at the bottom of the hill. Now our campus was on a steep hill. So he says, I want you to walk up to the Student Services Building. Well, the Student Services Building, guess what was that? It's at the top of the hill. So I thought he wanted to show me these damn roses. Because we had some new variety of roses. So I'm walking up the hill with Stan to see the new roses. And we get up, but Stan didn't say nothing about the roses. We just walking up. He said, I want you to sit here and watch something with me. So we stand, you get to the top of the hill, and there's a circle where the city bus came in. And he said, okay, I'm standing here. So we watch bus stop, and a group of folks get off the bus, and then I see them walk into our gym. So they walk over to the gym, so I'm thinking, okay, Stan, I see the people, the bus came, and Stan said, just keep watching, because I'm going to walk down the hill, because I'm thinking about that presentation I got to get done, right? Stan looks at me, he says, just sit here, and all of a sudden, the students all walk out. So I noticed when they went into the gym, they had a whole lot of stuff with them, right? They had bags and stuff. And all of a sudden they come out, and then they go over to the cafeteria area, which is adjacent to the Student Services Building. So now my curiosity is piqued, because I'm like, what are these people doing that they done went in, dropped off all these bags, and they come out and they walk in the Student Services Building. And they go to Student Services, the cafeteria area, and then he turns to me, he said, you know who those people are? And I said, they got 7 a.m. classes? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He said, no. He said, these are students who just exited the homeless shelter in Livermore. And they take the bus from Livermore up to our campus. And you know why they go into the PE building, brand new PE facility? I said, no, Stan, why? He said, because we have lockers in the PE building. And they go and get a locker, and they leave their stuff in there for the day. He said, but Dr. P, they're walking over here to the cafeteria. And I said, okay. So I'm thinking, where does he go with this? And he turned to me and he said, Dr. P, our value breakfast costs too much. These students are coming here for a meal, and the breakfast that they're paying is going to be more than what they can afford to do. He said, I need you to come up with a solution so that they can have breakfast. Because some of them are buying a Danish and a coffee that's going to have to last them for a long time that day. And I kind of paused, and I said, Stan, how do you? He said, I just watch. When I'm taking care of the roses, I see who shows up. He said, these kids can't afford our food. Now, I was a president of college. I had 3 or 4 vice presidents. I had a student life director. I had an office full of faculty and staff who walked around this campus all the time. But it was Stan, the Rose Man, who pointed out something to me that we didn't know about our college. He was a groundskeeper who took care of the roses. So I'm going to suggest to you that when we talk about student success, everybody's going to talk about what happens in the classroom, and it is powerful, no doubt. They're going to talk about what happens in our counseling spaces, no doubt powerful. They're going to talk about student life. They're going to talk about tutoring services. They're going to talk about all this phenomenal stuff we do, ACEs in the schools. They're going to talk about campus safety. But at the end of the day, it was the fact that Stan, the Rose Man, saw that we had a crisis with a group of our students and they needed help. So, I feel proud that he felt that he can come and talk to me, make me put on my tennis shoes, and walk up the hill to look at these issues. I'm going to suggest to you that what we need to have at Montgomery College is a speak-up culture. Not just that you can speak up and tell the president that we have homeless students who need help doing X, Y, or Z on our campus, or that we have people living in a situation where they need our help. A speak-up culture also means that when we have issues, when we're grappling with racism, equity, prejudice, feelings of discomfort and vulnerability, that we also have a space when we talk about those. That is the intention for today. This idea that we start a cultural revolution, that we have an honest conversation about the things that really matter.